This week, when talking about measurement, we are going to be looking at capacity. When I went through the different ways of measuring things, this was the one that we talked about when we looked at the jar and how much something could hold. Capacity literally means how much something can hold. So you are going to be thinking about containers this week. And one example of how you might use this in real life is if you're thinking about cooking. If you're making a recipe, you need to make sure that you have a container that can hold the right amount of liquid to dump in or dry ingredients that you need to mix in to make whatever you're baking. Another way is just simple. If you are pouring a drink into a cup, you need to make sure that you have the right size cup. You don't want to get out a cup that's too small for the drink and then have it spill everywhere. So capacity is a really important way of measuring things. The two important words that we're going to be looking at today are more and less. So when we were looking at length, we were looking at, is it longer or shorter? Today we're going to be looking at which container could hold more liquid or whatever you're filling it with, and what container could hold less of whatever you're filling it with. So we're going to look at a couple of slides here that show two different types of containers, and you're going to take a guess as to which one you think, and you're going to be listening really closely to whether it's asking for more or less. Here we have a bowl and a pitcher. Which container holds more? Looking at the picture, it looks like the bowl is smaller than the pitcher. Do you think that that will make a difference with how much that container can hold? Now, it's important to note that capacity doesn't just have to do with how tall a container is. Sometimes you'll have a really big but short container that can hold more. And sometimes you'll have a really skinny but tall container that's going to actually hold less than that short, big container. But for the sake of our activity today, I want you to have one last second to take a guess which one you think holds more. If you said pitcher, you are correct. Think of this as a cereal bowl or something that you have in your cabinet at home, and then a big water pitcher. If you tried to pour that container of water from the pitcher into that bowl, it would overflow. So the pitcher definitely holds more. Which holds more? Here we have a coffee mug or bowl. Take a close look at it. And again, the picture is sort of designed to help you think about this. Or if you want to, you can go take a look in your cabinet, pull out a coffee mug, pull out a bowl, cereal bowl, something standard size bowl, not a real big mixing bowl or anything. Which one do you think would hold more? If you want to, you can go as far as to test it out. Ask mom and dad for some help, get some water, pour water into the coffee mug, pour water into the bowl. See which one holds more. If you said bowl for this one, you are correct. Which holds less? Now, again, we're paying attention to those key words. We have more or less. In the previous pictures, we were looking at which holds more. In this one, we're looking at what holds less. So think about a sink and a bathtub, and if you went in there and stopped up the drain and filled it up. Now, we don't want to do this because it would waste a whole lot of water, and we're thinking about the environment. But if you think about it, and you did that, and you filled it up, which one do you think would take longer? The bathtub would take a lot longer. So do you think the bathtub holds a lot more water than the sink does? So if we're answering the question, which holds less water, which do you think the answer is going to be? If you said sink, you got it right. Next up, we have which holds less. Again, we're hearing that keyword less, not more. So let's look at our cup or cookie jar. If you're thinking in terms of cookies, you could definitely fit a lot more cookies in a cookie jar than you could in a cup. So if you said cookie jar, you are correct. Which holds more? What keyword did you hear? More or less? Do you think it's the plastic cup or the tea kettle? Well, usually when you're making a cup of tea, you fill up the tea kettle and you can actually make a few cups of tea and not just one cup. So that tells me that the tea kettle probably holds more than just one cup of water. So if you said kettle, you are correct. We're going to continue working on capacity for the rest of the week and doing a couple of different activities to practice seeing which container holds more or less.